and we have a whole bunch of experts who help put ideas in our head for how to spend our free time. Dianna Stampfler is one of them at Promote Michigan. Good morning.
Good morning, Richard. How are you today?
Great. How's fall treating you?
You know, northern Michigan, I'm in Walloon Lake right now. It's really foggy, and we, obviously had the rain that everyone else has had this week.
Yeah.
So most of the fall is now on my ground. It has fallen
Yeah, right.
to the ground. But it's really interesting to see the colors because I was over near Gaylord over the weekend, and they're actually past peak in Gaylord. But I went to Mackinac 2 days ago, and certain areas of the Mackinac City area are just at peak. So it's not necessarily following that geographic downward thing. It's kind of pocketed in. I mean, I know that there's still some places down by your area that are still green. Yeah,
I see color, but I also have, I think it's this pear tree thing. It has really dark green leaves in my yard. It hasn't even begun to change yet.
Well, we're going to extend the season into the November, I think.
Right.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
Take us right on up to, but we started seeing those little weird white things, that kind of fall down toward this time of year.
Yeah.
They've been popping up, so I'm really not excited about that, and I refuse to say the word. Don't say it.
I've already said it, so I can't take it back now.
Because you have to give weather forecasts and stuff. So
right.
All right.
So what's this now about haunted places?
Well, next week is Halloween. I think it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give you a few places where I've heard about some ghost stories. And I'm not talking about these fabricated, on the side of the highway, we're going to make this place and try to scare you kind of attractions that are here.
You mean for real?
I'm talking about places that the ghosts are there 365.
Oh,
I mean, they're
wow.
serious. So several of them in your neck of the woods, and one I just learned of in doing research for talking with you today is the Kingman Museum in Battle Creek.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And I didn't know that up at the Lila Arboretum property. And certain parts of that building have been reported with strange sounds and doors that come on, that are locked that come open, and the sounds of children inside that facility. So that's a new one to me.
Wow.
One of the most noted ones in the area is the National House Inn in Marshall, the historic brick hotel downtown. Is known to be home to a lady in red. Of course, that was a stop on the Underground Railroad, and it's very significant in its history. So that's typically where you start to see a lot of these ghost stories that are popping up. I stayed, Schuler's Restaurant used to have a hotel upstairs back in the day. And a couple of years ago, I was a guest of the Schuler family and stayed in one of those rooms, and everybody left for the night. And I was getting ready for bed, and I heard this belly barrel laugh down the hall. And I was a little concerned, and when I mentioned it the next day to the folks at the restaurant, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's Albert Schuler. He was happy you were there." So, there's these things. The former Red Brick Inn in Plainwell was rumored to be haunted. My parents worked there when I was in middle school and have some stories of their own. The Grill House in Allegan is haunted by the ghost of an old lumberjack. The Felt Mansion in Saugatuck, the Kalamazoo Psychiatric Hospital, Henderson Castle in Kalamazoo, and of course certain sites in Detroit too, because you know who died on Halloween in Detroit?
Houdini.
In 1926 was Harry Houdini.
Yeah.
So a lot of sites tied to where he performed, the hotel he was in, the hospital where he died, and the mortuary where he was sent post-death. So
did Mr. Schuler laugh all night, or was it just for a little while?
It was just one barreled laugh, and actually I did get up and I put my ear to the door because I was afraid. Like, I knew I was the only one in the building, but I double locked the door, and then I went to sleep.
Made sure your phone was charged. All that.
Yep, it was all good. But, it wasn't. I've had a couple experiences like that. I had one at the State Hospital in Traverse City years ago, a couple other places. And fortunately, my experiences have all been pretty mellow. My daughter, who's 25, she's been seeing ghosts and hearing things since she was 3 or 4 years old.
Oh, really?
So she's always had that gift, which sometimes isn't always a gift. Yeah, so there's a lot of places in Michigan. I'm going to put together a list this morning and throw it out on Facebook, and I'll be sure to link to you. So if people really want to get some more of these stories, they can dig those up themselves.
All right. Thanks for that. Dianna Stampfler at Promote Michigan. Make you think a little bit. Things that make you go, There's some of them. We'll share that on the 95.3 WBCK Facebook page later. And, of course, Promote Michigan. Just put it in a Google search. Diana's got all the stuff she's working on right there. You'll find it, and she'll give you more ideas of things to do and cool things to see in Michigan.